this evolution of thought from the vibration into an experience, or turning thoughts to things. There's the vibration, and then the next evolution, which we want to call a manifestation, is the thought and emotion that follows right there with it. So if you could accept and agree with and make peace with, if it could be enough, if the thought and the emotion could be enough without all this needing to play out, then as you begin taking pleasure in your thought, pleasure which is the emotional response to the thought, as you begin taking pleasure in your thought, you gain enough momentum that it has to play all the way out. So what we're saying is, if you could enjoy with us the idea of a vibration becoming more, and the more that it becomes being an idea that just feels good to think about, and if for just a little while that could be your only objective, just to think, feel good while you're doing it, so that you're not introducing the absence of it into the equation, because that's the thing that trips you all up. I want this thing I do not have. I want this thing I do not have. I want this thing I do not have. And you don't make any headway. But if I want this thing, I like this thing, I enjoy this thing, I like this experience, I'm taking pleasure from the idea of this, then the resistance goes away, and the natural progression or evolution of it from thought to full-blown manifestation has to come. It's simpler than it seems. Do you believe that you have lived enough life to have identified, as you've been sifting and sorting, what you really want? Catch yourself in the act of a thought and ask yourself, resistance or open path? I've sifted enough and I know what I want. Or I know what I want and I'm just slightly resistant to it. We're pretty sure you know what you want. So if you're pretty sure what you want and it's not come to full fruition, then that must mean that you're not a vibrational match to it. So now let's sort that out a little bit. I know what I want, but I can't find it. I know what I want, and I haven't been tuned to it. Resistance or open path? So which feels like the path of least resistance? I'm not good at tuning to what I want, or I can feel when I'm tuning to what I want. Resistance or open path? I have no idea what I'm doing to shoot myself in the foot. Or my negative emotion is a clue when I'm shooting myself in the foot. Resistance or open path? I need to get what I want in order to feel good. I can find pleasure from thoughts even before it comes. It's getting clearer all the time, isn't it? So which is the path of least resistance? It's taking way too long, or I'm right on track. It's taking longer than I want it to, or I'm willing to let it take as long as it takes. Resistance or open path? I'm off my path, or I'm on my path. I have no clue what I'm doing. I'm getting a sense of this. Resistance or open path? I've really made a mess of this. I'm figuring this out. Am I ever going to find what I want? It's unfolding for me now. You see what we're getting at? When I see it, I'll know it, and then I'll be happy. I can be happy anyway, and then it's logical that it will flow. I'm running out of time. I have all the time in the world. Resistance or open path? It's urgent. It's not urgent. Got to do it now. All in good time. Catch yourself in the act of a thought and ask yourself, resistance or open path? And then just be more focused about being nice to yourself. Law of attraction gives me some of everything that's active in me. So what's active in me is wanted and unwanted. Why is wanted active in me? Because I think about it. Why is unwanted active in me? Because I think about it. So isn't it nice that you're getting a ongoing preview of what you've got going on in terms of your thought process? So now we have some questions for you, for all of you really. Think about this. Oh, this is so good. This is the peace that you've all been looking for. So think about it in terms of this continuum, this evolution between the vibration turning to a thought and an emotion in an experience. Do you think that The majority of what you're offering vibrationally, and therefore what's coming to you, is because of the pondering you're doing when you're just lying in bed or taking a walk or contemplating this, or is the majority of the vibration that you're offering in response to something that you are observing? What's true of most of you is that it's in response to what you're observing, which means you can't get there from here. You can't get to where you want from where you are, because what you're observing isn't what you want, but what you're observing is the majority of what you're offering vibrationally, and the majority of what you're offering vibrationally is bringing you more of what you don't want, what you're observing, and so you're just sort of in a holding pattern there. So isn't it evident that the key to the change is to think more when you're not having the experience than when you are having the experience? So we're making a case for more quiet contemplation, more blissfully pleasing yourself with thought, more just playing things out in your mind, and less needing the manifestation to be the way that it plays out just for a little while. We're not talking about very long. We're talking about days or a few weeks, really, of just giving yourself the pleasure of the relief of non-resistance.